Hello, I'm the Resolute Cartographer, and this is the 6th video in my series on the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Last time we spoke with the crew after leaving the Citadel for the first time. We then surveyed the worlds of the Argus Row cluster, and helped Rex reclaim his family's armor. This time, we're going to take down a criminal syndicate. Before we can do that though, we're going to have to carry out one more mission in order to step up our Paragon level one more time. If we take a quick look at that here, you can see that I've got it up to, what is this, 8? I need to get it to 9 in order to be able to do this criminal syndicate mission the way I want to. So, let's take a look at the map. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be leaving behind Tun Tau and the Phoenix system and the Argus Row cluster, and we're going to be heading on over to the Hades Gamma cluster, and specifically to the Farinata system. Okay, here we go.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Commander, we've got a situation that requires your expertise. A group of fanatical biotics have kidnapped the chairman of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies. Their freighter sustained damage and is dead in space. Get in there and take them down.
What kind of resistance should I expect?
The biotics were seen loading equipment into the freighter. Expect traps and combat drones. Nothing you can't handle.
What are the biotics asking for?
They're L2 Biotics, and most of them are suffering major side effects from the implants. The subcommittee denied a request for reparations to all L2 Biotics. Apparently they'd like the chairman to reconsider.
What's the priority on saving the chairman?
Saving him would be my preference, but we must make it clear that these tactics don't work, Commander. Your top priority is to neutralize the biotics.
Understood, Admiral. I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate you taking the time, Commander. I'm sending you the last known coordinates of the freighter. Good luck. 5th Fleet out.
Okay, so we're going to go over here to the MSV Ontario in a moment, but first we're going to take a look at the planets in the system. We're also going to quickly do a sweep, of the asteroid belts to see what else we can find, because you can typically find something in the asteroid belts, even if you can't see it right off the bat. And I think that rocky asteroid's it. Why don't we just take a look at that real quick. This large asteroid has several smaller bodies orbiting it. Wow, radius of 336 kilometers, that's pretty big. Surveying it, we find the light metal of magnesium. Okay. Let's take a look at this first planet here, Tunshigan. Tunshigan is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and nitrogen in its atmosphere. It has an unusually small number of moons for a gas giant, a mere 7. This is no doubt due to the star Farinata capturing the majority of the mass during the nebular collapse that created this system. Now, it's strange that you find one. Okay, 5.6 AU, so the orbital distance is actually quite large. The Earth orbits at 1 AU, astronomical unit, so this thing's significantly far away. It's just that in this representation of the system, it appears to be as close to the Sun as it does. Let's take a look at the next planet out, Juntauma. Juntauma is a small, broiling terrestrial world. Really? It's quite far from the star here and has a low atmosphere. Its thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane is being steadily blown off by the powerful solar winds from the star Farinata. It must be a very hot star. The surface is scorchingly hot and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of copper. Its density is low enough to leave the world tidally locked to Farinata. Wow, at 69.9 AU, this must be a massive star. The Alliance Defense Data Network notes that several ships have been spotted cruising near Juntauma with transponders turned off. While an Alliance patrol attempted pursuit of one, the unidentified vessel rabbited to FTL. Its trail was lost when it obscured its light trace in the confusion of signals along the NNC Ishtar shipping lane. Okay. Wow, though, this is far. Okay. Significantly smaller than Earth. Let's take a look here. Scans of Juntauma have revealed a derelict freighter in mid-stage orbital decay. Your salvage team boarded the vessel and determined it had been attacked by raiders. There is little of value still on board, but the team did find a Prothean data disk. Why would they leave that behind? Must have been hidden. Okay, next up is Nepnu. With a rare combination of features, Nepnu is of particular interest to the scientific community. Neptune is a small terrestrial planet with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. As with all the worlds of Farinata, its surface is scorchingly hot. The crust mainly consists of silicates laced with iron. Yeah, 848 degrees Celsius, and it's where is that? Huh, it doesn't show its orbital distance. But it does take it 302 years to fully orbit the star here. Surveying it, we find the rare element of thorium on a nearby moon. Okay. Next up, we are now heading over to the MSV Ontario. This should probably be, my guess is this is a blue giant, or a super giant even. I don't know. And probably not a super giant, because I don't think the 5.6 AU for Tenshagan would be far enough. I don't know. It's interesting. Anyway, MSV Ontario. The Ontario is a Kowloon class modular conveyor of human design, configured for mixed freight and passenger hauling. It is making a hard burn for the cover of an asteroid cluster. Registry private owner of a Citadel station. Let's board it. Okay, I'm bringing Caden with me. I think that's actually fairly important. He's an L2 Biotic. These people who have taken the chairman captive are L2 Biotics. Along with that, I'm just going to take Rex, and we will get in there. Okay, the other thing is, I'm going to try something here. I can't remember if this works or not. I think it used to work in the previous version. We'll see whether or not it works now. And that is that I'm going to, first of all, sniper rifle and heavy human armor here. But I'm going to try to just simply sprint past all these biotics, because I want to try to preserve as much life here as possible. And if you do get to this hostage situation and you defuse the problem, then they go back to being non-hostile. So, let's try this. Okay, and sprint. Here we go.
You must die.
Oh, they knocked me down.
Be more careful.
Come on, let's go. There we go.
See how it is? You write letters and everyone ignores you. Force is the only thing people appreciate. So how about if I kill Chairman Burns and finish this charade?
Please, I was trying to help you people.
Let's not do anything we're all going to regret.
Why not? What have we got to lose? Since the chairman here decided that we didn't get reparations, we've got nothing left to live for.
But I've changed my mind. Seeing you all, it's clear that you all deserve...
You had your chance. Some L2s are nearly crippled from side effects of the implants, but you voted against reparations.
Alright, now we're going to go with the Paragon option here, because I need to raise the Paragon.
Think about this. Burns is the one man who can help you.
Yes, if you release me, I can take another look at the reparations request.
What, we're supposed to trust you?
I'm an L2 like you. Trust me. The commander can make sure that Burns follows through.
Sure, you promise us freedom and say everything will be fine, but as soon as we surrender, you'll double-cross us.
I'm not promising to let you go. All I'm saying is that Burns will take another look. Right, Burns?
Absolutely. I had no idea that the L2 Biotics were this desperate. If I'd known, the reparations will come. For whatever it's worth, I promise that.
You're right. I don't want to die. Maybe something will happen this time. We surrender.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me. I'll see to it that the reparations discussion is reopened. I didn't know they were so desperate.
A 5th Fleet cruiser will be by shortly to pick you and the prisoners up.
Okay, see we got +8 Paragon, which means now if I open this up and I go to squad, well, not Caden. Oh, I need to get more points. Oh, shoot. Looks like it needs more Paragon points. That's fine, I know we can go get some more. So, and it's going to be dealing with more biotics. But look at that, we're no longer being shot at by these crew members, and we can take a look at this locker here. Sniper rifle, assault rifle, and pistol, we can take all that. And we can actually loot the entire ship now that they're no longer hostile. There we go, another crate here. Assault rifle, heavy Krogan armor, and a shotgun. I'll probably hand some of that off to Rex. I think they're still following us around the ship, though, potentially. Basically, because they're still supposed to like be in combat or whatever, but they're not going to actually shoot us. Armor upgrade. What else? Nothing else in here. Or at least I thought she was following us. Maybe she was just going into the cockpit. Okay, and I think there's still more stuff out here. We'll take a quick look around and see if there is. Oh, yep, there we go. Crate. Shotgun and pistol. probably need to check on the gear that all of these characters are using at some point soon. But for the moment, I'm just going to keep adding, and then we will check this once we get Liara on board, which is going to be in the next video. Once we have Liara on board, we can sell everything we don't need. Okay, let's get back to the Normandy. I think we found everything we're going to find here. And I don't think we killed any of them. Of course, their bodies don't hang around, even if you do, so I wouldn't be able to tell anyway. Alright, so that wasn't enough, but we have somewhere else we can go.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Thank you for dealing with the hostage situation, Commander. Chairman Burns was quite impressed by the way you resolved the situation peacefully. Your assistance above and beyond the formal duties has been noted, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
Okay, we are now done in the Farinata system, in the Hades Gamma cluster. We're going to now head on up to the Hawking Eta cluster, and specifically to the Century system.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise, the Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hawking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics.
More biotics.
He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
What kind of proof do you have that the Major is dangerous?
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
You said his followers were biotics?
Yes. Major Kyle never showed any biotic tendencies himself, though. I think he's just latched onto a group he identifies with. Many biotics feel marginalized or ostracized by society. Kyle probably sees them as victims who need his protection, and they see him as someone who will fight for them. Unfortunately, he's convinced them that the Alliance is somehow responsible for all their problems. We can't let him go on like this.
What else can you tell me about Major Kyle?
He used to be a model soldier, but something happened to him at Torfin. Too many Alliance soldiers died under his command. Couldn't cope with the guilt. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
What were those Alliance representatives going to talk to Major Kyle about?
They wanted to bring him back to an Alliance facility for treatment. Major Kyle served us faithfully for many years. We weren't going to abandon him. Given his state of mind, however, he probably saw them as a threat. We're almost certain he had his followers killed him.
I might be able to end this without violence.
That may not be possible, Commander. We don't want a bloodbath, but Kyle is dangerous. I'll trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Okay, now then, let's take a look at these planets. Tamahera. Tamahera has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. Its surface is icy and composed of sodium oxide with deposits of calcium. It contains a few unremarkable metals, but mainly consists of rock. The presence of canyons and floodplains indicates that liquid water once existed, suggesting Tamahera had a thicker insulating atmosphere in the past. Okay. Next up, let's take a quick look at the asteroid belt. I know there's another planet further in, but that's where we're going. So, nothing I can see. Next planet outside, Kanktra. A terrestrial world of average size, Kanktra's atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of tin with deposits of calcium. Aside from some spectacular formations of water ice at the poles, the planet has little to recommend it. Okay, let's survey it. Light metal discovered, cobalt. Alright. And last but not least, Theropto. Theropto is a typical hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in its atmosphere. It has over 100 moons and an extensive ring system composed of pulverized rock, presumably the debris from shattered moons. Surveying it, we find a medallion While surveying the planet Theropto, you discovered a tiny moon with some odd readings. Further scans by Chief Engineer Adams revealed a destroyed escape pod. Your salvage team recovered the components and found a League of One medallion. Now we're not... Oh, how did I miss that? Okay. Metallic asteroid. A metal-rich asteroid, 83 kilometers in radius. Heavy metal surveyed, palladium. Okay. And we're not going to be landing on Clindigan, we're going to be landing on Pressrop. Clindigan is the larger world, we're going to be landing on the moon. But looking at Clindigan... Clindigan is an arid terrestrial slightly larger than Earth, but with lower density that reflects its relative lack of heavier elements. The crust is composed of tin and aluminum, with wide deserts of dust-fine sand that are easily stirred by the wind. Clindigan's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches across the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is that it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests that it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable power. This occurred some 37 million years ago. The Clindigan Rift Valley is another very important piece of lore here. We'll take a look at it when we get down to Pressrop. Pressrop is the moon of Clindigan. It is a frigid, barren world with an extremely thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. The crust contains plentiful deposits of heavy metals. The Alliance has opened bidding for the moon's mineral rights, but exploitation will be complicated by the system's proximity to the 5 kiloparsec ring around the galactic core. The ring is an area of intense star formation and too dangerous to safely travel. Pressrop's landscape is a nightmare of jagged, overlapping ridges and geological shock zones created by some ancient disaster. This has not deterred a generation of illegal wildcat miners from attempting to exploit the moon's mineral riches. Unfortunately, many have lost their lives. Okay, let's land. And I'm gonna just stick with the same team here because they're the best balance I can achieve at this time. Okay, taking a look at the map. So there are a few things that we can see here and a few that we cannot. First thing is right over here. It's a thresher mob. You want to avoid the spit. You also don't want it to emerge from under you. Okay, it's out of health. Hey, we got it. That gives us 2,100 credits and 549 experience. Very nice. I think this X here is just pointing that out. Let's see. It's not showing up on the map anyway. Okay, well, next up we're going to be heading up here. And I'll bring you back. And so right up there you can see Clindigan with that enormous rift valley across it. Okay, we got a discovery here. This cluster of prefab utility shacks have a distinct ramshackle look to them. A set of rover tracks leads away over the mountain ridge to the southwest. But as I was saying, that is Clindigan, and you can see that enormous rift valley across it. That is from a mass driver weapon. So somebody fired a weapon that skipped across the surface of that planet, causing that massive rift. That is an important thing that'll come back in Mass Effect 2. But I also want to note that I'm pretty sure that's an image of Mars that they touched up there. Anyway, let's take a look here.
On my way.
So we got a couple of shelters and a little carport thing. And decrypting, we find a couple of shotguns and a sniper rifle. And let's check out this shelter, and then we're going to go follow the rover tracks over the mountain ridge to the southwest. Malfunctioning object gives weapon and armor upgrades. And there's a, what is that, a wetware kit? Technician kit. 2 armor upgrades. Very nice. Okay. And it's head to the southwest. I don't see rover tracks, but we're going to head this way. Alright, here we go. Looks like a Turian thing here. Ancient debris, recovering it. Indeed, Turian insignia recovered. Digging under the beacon revealed a piece of scrap metal, likely from a very old freighter. It was marked on one side with the Macedon outpost insignia. Okay. And that's related to the Turian clan wars and stuff. We'll go over that at some point. Wrecked mining vehicle. Discovery. The front of the rover is crumpled in an impact. A glance inside tells you the occupants, probably a team of illegal wildcat miners, are dead. Debris is still sliding down the furrows left by the tires, silent in the near vacuum atmosphere. Okay, let's keep on moving. Back to the Mako, and taking a look at the map, we are going to head right over here to this bit of debris. Alright, we got a crashed probe. Oop. Gotta remember the right button for sprinting. And we find a weapon and an armor upgrade. Okay, now, we're not going to actually be heading straight down to Major Kyle's base right here. Instead, we're going to be heading over this way. Okay, nearly just landed on top of it. A uranium deposit. Rare element of uranium, okay. And still one more spot to check out, right up over there. And they are already shooting at us, despite the fact that we are very far away from them, and that there's no way that they're going to properly hit us. Here we go. Okay, there we go. I don't think there's anything to even pick up over here. We just killed a group of mercenaries that were trying to kill us. So, next up, Commander Kyle's biotic compound. Let's get going. Always a good time to arrive in style. Let's go chat with these folks over here.
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
I want this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people could get hurt.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle, and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
We will, of course, go meet him at the far end of the compound, which is that little silo-like structure over there. But first we're going to stop in here because we can actually loot all the containers in here. Alright. None in the entry hall here, but we can go further in. You talk to these biotic cultists, they all say pretty much exactly the same thing.
Everyone looks at us like we're freaks, just because we have biotics.
It's either that or...
Father Kyle says we biotics have to stick together.
And they actually have a couple more, but they're all effectively around the same sort of thing. Nothing back here. We'll check in that back office up here.
Biotics can feel safe here.
Medical. More medical. Alright, and now the back room on the ground floor. Got a malfunctioning object with a weapon upgrade. A technician kit with a weapon and an armor upgrade. And I think we're done here. Oh, sorry. Locked crate there. With some light human armor, light Turian armor, and a shotgun. Okay. Let's get moving back to not to the Normandy, but to the Mako so we can drive ourselves over to see Father Kyle. Alright. Seems lazy, but keep in mind you have to be back in the Mako to get back to the Normandy, so it's either drive over this time or walk back over the other time. Okay. More biotic cultists. This area is very full of junk, but there's also there are also some crates you can find. Here we go. Weapon upgrade, sniper rifle, and pistol. Let's keep moving. Father Kyle's off to the right, but we're going to head off to the left. Because again, technician's kit with grenade and weapon upgrades. A malfunctioning object with a weapon and an armor upgrade. And now we can go see Major Kyle.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you're endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
And again, Paragon helps us out here, and it's going to get us more Paragon points.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm going to trust you. If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Joker can have the 5th Fleet pick Major Kyle up. I just hope you know what you're doing, Commander.
Alright, as I said, you should return to the Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. Okay, and taking a look at our squad here, I now have to the point where I can add another point to charm, which is excellent. That's exactly what I needed to do. And we can now go take care of this criminal syndicate. Now, there's nothing else for you to see in here, so I'll bring you back when we get to the Normandy. A crate, missed this. Light armor and a sniper rifle, so I've got that. And again, back to the Normandy. Okay, let's get on the galaxy map.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
Okay, leaving behind Pressrup, Century, Hawking Ida, we are now going to head to the Hades Gamma Cluster and the DIS system. Okay, let's check the asteroid belt to see if we find anything. Oh, there we go. Metallic asteroid. A metal-rich asteroid, 94 kilometers in radius. And surveying it, we find the light metal lithium. Scanning the rest of the belt, you never know. Okay. Innermost planet, Jartar. Jartar is a terrestrial world with a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. The surface is hot, mainly composed of unremarkable silicates. Occasional deposits of aluminum, magnesium, and other light metals can be found. Jartar is noted for the discovery of the Leviathan of Dis, the apparent corpse of a genetically engineered living starship. The Leviathan was found at the bottom of a crater by a Batarian survey team and estimated to be nearly 1 billion years old. It disappeared after a visit to the system by a Batarian dreadnought 20 years ago. Since then, the Batarians have steadfastly denied the Leviathan existed at all, and all the more vociferously when shown recordings of the corpse made by Solarian researchers. The Leviathan of Dis is an extremely important piece of lore, and it's going to come up again in Mass Effect 3. So, let's leave it behind, and we're going to take a look at Niram. Niram is a terrestrial world with a thin atmosphere of methane and argon. Its frozen surface is mainly composed of basaltic rock. Its most prominent feature is the Alos Rift Valley, a long volcanic divergence zone that stretches across half of the northern hemisphere. That's significant. Surveying it, we find the light metal of titanium on a nearby moon. Next up is Clinsol, but that's where we're going to land, so let's take a look at Grimmar. Notice the speckling there on the surface of it. Grimmar is an icy terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and krypton. Its surface is mainly composed of frozen ammonia with deposits of tin and other light metals. When exposed to sunlight, Grimmar's ammonia can melt, forming equatorial seas of the toxic chemical. This has allowed a profusion of simple fungus and lichens to evolve in the low-energy environment. A byproduct of their metabolism causes them to glow very faintly. While the light of an individual is insignificant, large patches seem to reinforce the light of one another and are visible from space. I mean, that's beautiful, right? Next up is Raisha. Raisha is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of sodium and ammonia in its atmosphere. During the brief gold rush to Clinsol, a few companies established an infrastructure for helium-3 skimming and deuterium mining on Raisha's icy moons. When Clinsol proved to be less wealthy than expected, the facilities were stripped for parts and abandoned. Surveying it, we find a Turian insignia. Scans of the planet Raisha revealed an old unmanned shuttle. Your salvage team found Turian goods on board, all marked with the Trident colony insignia. Next up, Clinsol. Clinsol has a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and ethane. Its first geological surveys were performed by Batarians and suggested areas of great mineral wealth. Human mining concerns spent billions of credits hustling to the distant system and sinking test bores to claim the system for humanity. But Clinsol had only an average level of mineral wealth, valuable but hardly worth the rush and expense. Meridia Industria, a small Mexican company hoping to strike it rich in their first extrasolar mining venture, had to file for bankruptcy protection. Investigation revealed that the Batarian crew had deliberately falsified their surveys, hoping it would encourage human rivals to invest in a costly boondoggle. While unethical, this was technically not illegal, and the Batarian government disavowed the personal actions of a few misguided patriots. The planet is still littered with the abandoned mining bases, which are often used as temporary meeting places for criminals. That's what we're going to be looking for. Now, the Batarians here have been mentioned twice now. First, back on that first planet, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, and also here. The Batarians on the first planet were said to have taken the Leviathan of Dis away. Here, it's been mentioned that they basically lied about the mineral wealth of this world. The Batarians are... I'd say that they're humanity's chief rival, and not even in a way where humanity considers the Batarians to be their rival, but in a way that the Batarians consider humanity to be their great rival. They've been fighting for the same territory, and in the end, the Council chose to stick with humanity rather than the Batarians, which means that the Batarians have kind of become a rogue state. They're kind of like North Korea, or like the Soviet Union, if it didn't have, you know, all of its little satellite states that it used to have. So let's go ahead and land here. Alright, we're going to bring along the Dream Team, again until I get Liara on board. Once we have Liara, she'll take up the full biotic strength, I'll take up the full tech strength, and Ashley Williams will take up the full combat strength. Alright, so the first location we're going to head to is right over here. Okay. Big old deposit of beryllium. Light metal of beryllium. Alright, back to the Mako. And next up, we're going to head right up over here. Okay, and as we approach this mineral deposit, you can see that there's enemies on the radar. I think we can get this deposit without engaging those enemies. Yeah, here we go. And it's a platinum deposit. There we go, heavy metal of platinum. Let's get back on board, and while we're not going to actually go into this structure just yet, I am going to take care of the guards in front of it. There we go. We'll be right back. Let's head over this way to whatever it is that's showing up over here. Alright. Right here we've got a crashed escape pod. Discovery. There's old footprints leading away from the escape pod, but no sign of any survivors. Well, this is a fairly cold planet. I can fairly confidently say that there's not going to be anybody alive here. Not unless they fell very, very recently. And they are a corpse. Let's take a look. It's a mummified Solarian. A medallion recovered. This dead traveler had a League of One medallion. Where he found it, or what he was trying to do with it, is unclear. Okay. And there's still one more spot to see, and that is whatever this debris is. Okay, looks like a crashed probe. Something like that. If I can get out, there we go. Crashed probe. With armor and ammo upgrades. Okay. Let's get moving, and I'll bring you back when we get to the Syndicate stronghold. Okay, now that we're here, I feel I should remind you this is for the mission Hostile Takeover. It's given to us by Helena Blake. She wants us to take out her two partners because they've started smuggling a drug called red sand, and they are taking the drug addicts into slavery. So they're kind of ruining her brand, and she just wants them out of the organization. Now she's actually sent us to go kill them. And here we are at the base of the first one. Actually, let me check my inventory because I think I've got some better gear to put on here. Okay, so everyone now has better weapons and armor. Okay. Let's get in here. Sniper down. And then two just riflemen. And I have not actually been utilizing all of their abilities, so let's do that. Like that. Okay. Rex, you go ahead and use Carnage. Did I tell you to use it? I don't... Okay, or not. There we go. There we go. Still a sniper. They got my shields, but I got them. Let's see who's back here. Looks like it's just the crime boss that's left. There you are.
Go, go, go!
Took out their shield. Let's use... Let's use Sabotage to take out their weapon. And then along with that, take out their shield, what's left of it. And then, Caden, if you want to lift him in the air. Crime Lord defeated. Helena was right. These guys have quite an operation going, but that's all going to change. One down, just one more to go.
Took him out!
Okay, and we can check out these back rooms to see what else we can find.
That's it. Bag him and tag him.
Just a drill there. But we can put away our guns and move around a little quicker. Okay, here we go. Weapon lockers, aid station. Okay. Aid station gives us more metagel. And then we can start hacking this thing open. And we get a shotgun, a pistol, and an assault rifle. A sniper rifle. Sorry, 2 sniper rifles and an assault rifle. 2 assault rifles and a sniper rifle. So, all good. Let's keep on moving now. I will bring you back. Well, actually, first there's this upgrade kit. with a couple of ammo upgrades. And with that, I think we've looted everything here. There's a medical kit over there, but other than that, I think we've got everything. So I will bring you back when we are on the Normandy, getting ready to head over to the next system. Okay. Let's leave behind Dis. And we are now going to head over to the Gemini Sigma cluster and the Han system. Okay, let's take a look at these worlds. Paraven. Paraven is a small, unremarkable rock world. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of calcium with deposits of aluminum. Paraven's low mass has left it tidally locked to the star Han. If there are any resources of value, mining stations could be established on the relatively temperate Twilight Band. That's the little strip of land in between the hot side and the cold side. Surveying it, we find Matriarch's writings. Scans of Paraven revealed an unmanned station in geosynchronous orbit. Your salvage team found no evidence of the origins of the station, but they did find one of Matriarch Dillanaga's writings on board. Okay. Next up is Huntingtoe. Huntingtoe is a Jovian-sized gas giant with a standard hydrogen-helium atmosphere. Traces of methane give the planet a distinct cobalt blue tint. Spectral analysis indicates its extensive ring system is mostly composed of ice crystals. Huntingtoe has an exceptionally powerful magnetic field, which creates strong radio interference throughout the inner system. Okay. Next up is Mavigan, but that's where we're going to be landing. So instead, let's look at Farkrothu. A standard gas, hydrogen, helium gas giant, gas twice there. Farkrothu is only distinguished by its moons. Several of them have been sculpted into the likeness of an anthropodal alien race not yet known to Council science. Radiometric dating suggests that these moons were worked over 500,000 years ago. Okay. And at the outer edge of the system, Patatanlis. Patatanlis is a large rock world with an unusually thin atmosphere of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. The frigid world's crust contains extensive deposits of uranium and occasional loads of naturally occurring plutonium. With a total mass more than 4 times that of Earth, Patatanlis should have a significantly thicker atmosphere. This unusual feature has flagged it as worthy of scientific investigation, but the need for expensive amounts of radiation shielding has deterred interest. Surveying it, we find a light metal deposit of beryllium. Okay, now, I'm not trying to spoil anything here, but it is very interesting to note this planet that should have a much thicker atmosphere. And when we find it, and it's right next to this gas giant that has these carved likenesses of a race that no one's ever met before that were carved 500,000 years ago. Just something to think about. Now then, we're going to go to Mavigan. Warning, level 2 cold hazard. Mavigan is a small rock and ice planet with a thin atmosphere of ammonia and methane. The surface is frozen and mainly composed of tin with deposits of potassium. The planet has a rudimentary ammonia-based life, mainly concentrated around geothermal vents deep underground. Severe storm cycles are common. Due to limited visibility, navigation may be difficult. Let's land. Alright, again, the Dream Team. Alright, taking a look at the map, we are going to head right up here first. Very low visibility. You can see the sun, of the star of this system, I should say, peeking out through the clouds, but otherwise this place is very inhospitable. Here we go, way off the beaten path, 2 shelters with some corpses. Let's check this place out. Nothing in the shelters, or in that one at least. Searching this crate, we find heavy human armor, medium human armor, and a biotic amp. Another crate there with a sniper rifle and some light human armor, and nothing in that. So, let's get back on board the Mako, and taking a look at the map, we're going to head right over there. I'll bring you back. Okay. Big old honkin' gold deposit here. Alright, heavy metal of gold. And let's check out whatever this thing is that's right over here. Mummified Solarium. So are we talking League of One medallion or ID tags? That's a crate. But if you want to say it's Mummified Solarium, I'll take your word for it. ID tags recovered. You discovered several small artifacts. Among them is the identification tag belonging to Captain Staronka, one of the Solarian soldiers charged with hunting down the League of One. Okay. And now that we're back on board, we are going to head for this little chunk of debris here. Here we go. Crashed probe. With armor and weapon upgrades. Okay. Next up, getting over to the Syndicate hideout to take out the second crime boss. Here we go. Took 2 of those rockets. Okay. These Czech hedgehog things they've got out here are just junk. I mean, if your thing that's supposed to stop vehicles can just be tossed by a vehicle, it's not a very good anti-vehicle solution. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Jeez. Alright, let's use Carnage and lift. And sabotage. There we go. Oh, nope, he's regenerating. Jeez, guys.
Get down.
There we go. Another mercenary down. Let's keep moving. Jeez. Okay, crime boss is down, but there's still some enemies to go. What? Okay, my grenade was right over here, I thought, but oh well. Well, that guy's down anyway. Let's see who's over here. Another mercenary. Another grenade. There we go. Second crime lord defeated. That's both of them. No doubt Helena Blake will be overjoyed to learn that these 2 scum are no longer a problem. Okay. Now then, let's check this place for loot, and then let's get back to the Normandy. Here we go. We got a wetware kit with a couple of biotic amps. And right over here we got a medical station with medium Turian and light human armor. Let's head over to the other side. I do wish they gave you the option to sprint for longer. Okay, we got a technician's kit with weapon and armor upgrades. A malfunctioning object with a grenade and ammo upgrades. A secure crate that we can decrypt for an assault rifle, sniper rifle, and pistol. And then 2 medical kits. Okay, that seems to be it. I will bring you back when we get back to the Normandy. Alright, back to the galaxy map. Now, this is supposed to take us over to the Horsehead Nebula in Fortuna. But first, I've got to stop off in the Argus Rho Cluster in the Phoenix system. on the planet Tuntau. I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that is the crate that I couldn't open, well, the probe, I should say, because I didn't have a high enough electronics skill. So, let's go get it. Alright, here we are. This is what I couldn't get open last time. And there we go, armor and ammo upgrades. It's not like I even needed that stuff, but I didn't want to leave it undone. Back to the Normandy. On to Fortuna. Okay, first planet, Maganless. This is a terrestrial. Maganless is a rock terrestrial with an atmosphere of sulfur dioxide and trace amounts of helium. Scans reveal ancient lava plains on the surface, implying a geologically active past. The crust consists of sulfur and basalts, but the planet's mass suggests a core of iron or heavier metals. Cursory drill corings suggest the possibility of simple subterranean life. And again, this is a terrestrial planet. It looks like a gas giant, but that's just the sulfur atmosphere. Along with that, you can see that it has just about the same atmosphere of Earth, just a little bit more surface gravity, but it is extremely cold. Surveying it, we find the Turian insignia. While scanning the planet Maganless, you discovered the remains of a damaged research vessel. Your recon team found no signs of survivors, but they did bring back a Rokam outpost insignia. Okay. And next up, Thurumlan. Thurumlan is a frigid world with a thick nitrogen-argon atmosphere. The crust consists of silicates and various unremarkable ores, but is surprisingly rich in phosphates. Since the atmosphere lacks free oxygen, the phosphates are relatively pure, and could be of value to manufacturers of fertilizer and incendiary ammunition. So yeah, it has 17 times the atmosphere of Earth, with only 7/10 of the gravity. Surveying it, we find the rare metal plutonium. Okay, next up is Amaranthine, but that's where we're landing. So, Wintania. Hard data on Wintania is very limited. When the system was charted by the Alliance surveyor Coop, only a small unmanned flyby probe was spared for the distant world. It is a small rock and ice planet with a trace atmosphere of krypton and sulfur dioxide. Normandy's more detailed survey suggests the frozen terrestrial may be a suitable target for mining. While it is largely water ice, mapping of the mass concentrations suggests that it has a core of pure aluminum. So it is extremely cold with very little atmosphere, and it is only about 1/5 the weight of the Earth. Next up, Amaranthine. Amaranthine is a chilly rock world with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Its frozen surface consists largely of light titanium and aluminum oxides, with deposits of thorium and other heavy metals located in the deep crust. Amaranthine was named by the human poet Sophia Cabral during her tour of duty aboard the Alliance surveyor ship Coop. That does seem like it'd be a job that poets would get some inspiration from. Under the dim light of the red dwarf Fortuna, the surface of the world is lit in a rich twilight blue and purple even at midday. Okay, it has a little bit more atmosphere than Earth, a little bit more mass, but again, is extremely cold. That's because it's circling a red dwarf. Let's land. Alright, Caden and Rex. Okay, taking a look at the map, we are going to head right over here to a thing that's already visible, and that's this load of mineral. I almost missed it. It's these little rocks of iridium. Surveying it, we have the heavy metal of iridium in a small deposit. Okay, again, taking a look at the map here, we have another location to go right over here. Alright, another deposit of uranium. Rare element uranium. Let's get back on board. Taking a look at the map, we are now going to be heading on down to this little spot right here. Alright. Thorium deposit. Rare element thorium discovered in a large deposit. Okay. Now then, we're going to head over here to this anomaly. The engineering outpost is our final destination. Alright. Looks like another piece of Turian wreckage here. Turian insignia recovered. We have found an intricate beaded necklace marked with the Galatania colony insignia. It appears to be very old. Alright, let's get back on board. And the last place before we go talk to Helena Blake. This debris field. Okay. Crashed probe. With armor and grenade upgrades on board. Let's get over to talk to Helena Blake. Here we are at what looks looks like a very evil little base, like it's got little horns on the top of it. Okay. The culmination of hostile takeover is about to take place. Let's chat with Helena Blake.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude. With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
I killed them because they deserve it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
Surely you don't think that necessary. Under my leadership, this organization will restrict itself to gambling and smuggling illegal technologies. These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
Now this right here is why we went after rescuing Chairman Burns and talking to Major Kyle, because if we hadn't, we wouldn't have this option right here. We'd have to either place her under arrest, just let her go, you know, it just, or basically, and when you say place her under arrest, that's when you just have to end up trying to kill her, or basically just abandon the whole thing here. So we're just going to say walk away.
This gang has a reputation for drugs and slaving. It's too late to change that.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps this organization has been so tainted by those two idiots that it cannot be redeemed. If I disband the gang, I walk away freely. I have not come so far to be arrested. I would die before going to prison. I would most certainly kill before going to prison. Now, do we have a deal?
You're free to go. I don't ever want to see this gang again. If I do...
You won't. I'm not so foolish as to break my word to a Spectre. Now, if you'll excuse me, my men become nervous in the presence of law enforcement agents. Goodbye, Shepard.
All right, there we go. More Paragon, leveled up, grenade, got some credits, I think. So, that's the nice thing. Now, Helena Blake will be a character that will show up again in Mass Effect 2. And that's the reason that I wanted to do this. I like to do the best possible playthrough I possibly can. Let's see if that gave us any option. No, we can't put any more points into Charm just yet. But we'll eventually be able to do that. So, but again, that was my entire goal there, was trying to make sure that she didn't die in that so we'd find her again. Let's check around here, see if there's any crates that we can loot, and then after that, we will head back up to the Normandy.
Go, go, go!
They don't like it when you walk close to them, it seems. So far, just the medical crate. Let's see if there's anything upstairs. Oh, we got a couple Solarians up here. It looks like there's a locker down that way. Let's see what else we got here. Technician's kit with grenade and armor upgrades. A hardened wall safe with ammo upgrades. Okay. An aid station, so more metagel. Let's go see about that locker over there. Snipers. Secure weapons locker. Let's see what we can find in that. 2 sniper rifles and a shotgun. Very nice. Okay, I'll bring you back when we get to the Normandy. Alright, well that's going to do it, but let's take a quick look at the journal here. And if we take a look at the assignments, you can see that we completed in this one Hostage, Hostile Takeover, and Major Kyle. So, we also made some progress here on Turian insignias, valuable minerals, Prothean data disks, Asari writings, and locate the signs of battle. In the next one, we're going to come back and we're going to find Liara Tsoni. She's somewhere in the Artemis Tau cluster. She is the last member of our crew. She's going to be the full biotic member in combat, so she's going to make up the last member of my team that I'm actually going to be taking on missions. Anyway, though, we'll come back next time. We'll find Dr. Liara Tsoni, bring her on board, and she's going to play a very important part in the story. This has been the Resolute Cartographer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.